we'll go ahead and get started when you're ready. So if you want to go ahead and find a nice tall spine. We're going to start doing a little box breathing together. So close your eyes and start to find that 4 equal parts breath. Maybe starting with a 4 count. So inhaling through the nose for 4. And then holding at the top for 4. Then exhaling for 4. And holding at the bottom for 4. On the inhale, imagine breathing a little more length into your spine and the back of your neck. On the exhale, imagine breathing a little more softness into the face and the shoulders. And if it's not too much, see if you can do all those things on the inhale and the exhale, finding that length and space, filling your body, but also feel the shoulders and jaw softening. And so as we come back to, continue just breathing here on your own. As we come back to our ordinary things we like to do, yoga and such work, it's really important that we really practice our yoga and our non-judgment, right? I know it's easy when you see somebody doing something that doesn't seem like a good idea or helpful. It's what our minds just naturally do. We're constantly judging everything. And there's got to be some place for that, right? Some level of healthy discernment, deciding the things you do and do not want in your life. But it's a really slippery slope. And when you start to notice the narrator in your head is really judgmental, and your ego can make it sneaky enough where it doesn't feel like that. You're not just acting holier than thou and being like, that is despicable. You know, it's these subtle little ideas it gives you to make you feel like you're just a little bit, maybe not better, but more right. You're right. You get to be right, righteous. And so I just really invite you in the practice today and in the days to come to really just be vigilant about taking note of when that narrator comes on and tries to tell you a little story, of just coming back to that place of love, using your yoga off the mat. So let that be our intention today. Every time you start to notice a thought come in, you can examine it right then and there. See if you see any judgment or blame within it. Or you can just choose to discard it and come back to the breath, back to that heart space. Using the yoga and the breath to purify the mind. All right, drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Inhale a little more length into the spine as you lift the heart. Exhale, softness through the face and shoulders as you sink in. And for the last 2 breaths, see if you can do both. On the inhale, lengthening and filling up, finding that pause in between. And exhale, see how much you can let go of here. Slowly let the head fall forward and start to make big, slow circles with the head and the neck. Keep the shoulders softly drawing down the back. Slowly come back to stillness in the center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left to your left shoulder, soften. One more, inhale to lengthen. Exhale to soften. This inhale, see what you can lengthen and soften. Slowly let the head fall forward and around, making those big, slow circles in the other direction. Come back to stillness in the center. And if you're not already sitting with your legs crossed, go ahead and sit with your legs crossed now. Inhale, arms up overhead. Squeeze the palms together, lift up, fill up. Exhale, turn and twist to the right. One inhale to lengthen. One exhale to soften and deepen. And then 2 breaths doing all the things on the inhale and the exhale, lengthening, holding space, but also letting go, finding that sweet spot, that balance of strength and surrender in each pose. Inhale back through center, squeeze the palms, reach up, fill up. Exhale, turn and twist left. One more breath, inhale, lengthens. Exhale, softens. 2 more breaths, doing all the things. If it's too much and you just want to find length on the inhale and softness on the exhale, that's fine. Inhale back to center, squeeze the palms together, draw the hands to heart center. And then bring your hands to opposite knees, crossing the arms, or crossing the left arm over the right, just so we don't forget which is which. All right, now we'll find a little cat-cow action as we round back. We inhale, draw everything forward, pulling on the knees to shine the heart forward as you look up. And then exhale, round it all back, tucking the chin to the chest, emptying all the air. See how long you can make each breath last. See if you can find that little pause between each breath. After your next exhale, empty all the air and release the arms up overhead. Squeeze the palms, lift them a little higher. Draw the hands through heart center. And now right arm over left. Same thing. Inhale, round it back. Exhale, round it back. Inhale, shine it forward, fill up. One more breath, make it the deepest, slowest breath. And slowly come back to center. Inhale, arms up overhead, hands to heart. Lower them down by your sides and roll over the knees onto the hands and knees now. Finding a nice tabletop setup with your fingers spread nice and wide. Start to really feel your body. Start to stack everything in place, thinking about your alignment. See where you can inhale a little more length into, maybe the spine, the back of the neck, the arms. See where you can exhale a little more softness into. On the next inhale, drop the belly, shine the heart forward. Moving really slowly, finding that wave-like motion coming over the spine. Maybe starting to create that wave-like sound with the breath by restricting the back of the throat slightly. Curl your toes under. On your next exhale, round it all the way up to down dog. Take your time. Keep the breath suspended out. Lower the knees back down. Inhale, drop the belly, shine the heart forward, fill up. Engage your fingers and your knuckles. Look up. Exhale, round it back up, down dog. Maybe straightening into the legs. Take your time. Lower the knees back down softly. On that inhale, drop it low, shine it forward, use your hands. Exhale, round it up, downward facing dog. We'll stay here. Maybe getting right into stillness if you're ready, or finding any movement that feels right. Really engage your hands. Now start to find the evenness through your body. Feel both hands pressing evenly. It might sound silly, but a lot of our misalignments come from one side being longer or stronger than the other. So really consciously press your hands down into the ground evenly and soften the shoulders out of the ears evenly and feel the feet pressing down evenly. Inhale, come up on the tippy toes. Feel that balance as you roll forward into plank. Maybe you can feel like one arm is stronger than the other, but press into both hands evenly to shine the heart forward and roll the shoulders back. Roll forward onto the toes, slowly lower through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, baby cobra. Take your time. Meet back in downward facing dog. If you want, you can stop through child's pose on the way. Actually, let's stop in child's pose, yeah? Knees together. See if you can bring your forehead to the ground. Now bring your hands into prayer behind your head and walk your elbows forward just a little more. Feel that stretch under your upper arms, sinking the sit bones back towards the heels. Lower your hands back down, curl the toes, slowly come back up, downward facing dog. Press through the fingers and knuckles evenly. Sink into the heels. Soften the fronts of the ankles. Inhale high on the tippy toes, ripple forward into plank. Feel your strength here. See what you can lengthen, see what you can soften. See if you can find that little pause in between. Come forward on the toes, slowly lower through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, baby cobra. Kneeling back in downward facing dog. Take your time. Now slowly walk your hands back about a foot. Reach your right hand back to the outside edge of your left ankle or left calf. And try not to let your structure be tilted here. Press into the left hand more to keep the shoulders even, the hips even. Let your head be heavy. Let your breath be deep. And slowly release the right hand down, reach the left hand back. Release the left hand down, slowly walk the hands back to the feet. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale, fold. Grab your elbows, start to sway a little bit. Let your head be heavy. Start to press into both feet evenly. Notice if your weight tries to shift from one foot to the other or from the outside edge to the inside edge, and try to press down evenly into all four corners of the feet. Release your arms and slowly round it up. Arms and head heavy, press into the feet. Lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Step your feet a little closer together. Inhale the arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, release your index finger. Try to glue your palms all the way together. Bring your biceps back with your ears. See if you can squeeze your head with your arms. Draw your shoulders down the back, press into the feet. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, drop it to the right. Try to keep everything in one line. Hips and shoulders facing forward. An apple between your chin and your chest. Inhale, back to center. Take the deepest, slowest breath. As you exhale, drop to the left. Press down into the feet. Inhale, back to center. Find a little more length, take one more sip. Exhale slowly, drop it to the right. Try to squeeze your head, sink a little bit into the heels. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back up. Drop your head back, find a little backward bend. Hips are pressing forward, heart is lifting up. Reach back through the fingers. Relax your head and your neck. On an inhale, come up. Feel this hinge at the hips as you reach forward and slowly come all the way down. Release your hands, shake your head a little bit. Step your feet all the way together if they're not. Bend your knees a lot. Reach around and try to step on all 10 fingers back behind your heels. Maybe you can get your forearms touching or close back there behind your calves. Bend your knees enough to get your whole body pressing into your legs, even your face, pressing into your legs. Now pull the head down towards the feet. Softly draw the shoulders up out of the ears and the belly in and up out of the way. And start to tip a little weight into the balls of the feet as you lift those sit bones up and back, maybe starting to straighten into the legs. Inhale, see what you can lengthen. Exhale, see what you can soften. And for the last 2 breaths, try to do both lengthen and soften. Slowly release, walk your hands forward into plank. Find that nice long line of energy and then shift forward, lower through chaturanga, meeting back, downward facing dog. Take your time. Always feel free to skip the vinyasa or to stop through child's pose on the way. Okay, feel that balance in your feet. Both feet pressing down, both hands pressing down evenly. Keep the left foot pressing down and lift the right foot just a little bit off the ground, but still feel the right foot pressing down against an imaginary surface. As you start to lift the right foot back behind you, keep that balance, that left foot pressing down and right foot pressing back equally. Keep the hips in line. See how high you can lift the right leg without taking the hips out of alignment. So we don't turn the hip open to the right. We keep the right hip facing down by drawing the left hip up and back and lowering the right hip. Checking with the hands and the arms, still working evenly. Head is heavy, breath is deep. Come up on the toes. Exhale, draw your knee all the way to your nose and step it through. Lower the left knee down. Inhale, rise up, fill up. Exhale, lower the hands, step the left foot forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, press into the feet, come all the way up, find a little backward bend. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. Inhale, arms up, shoulders down, interlace fingers, glue palms, biceps back with the ears, chin away from the chest, drop it to the right. Try to squeeze your head and glue your palms. We're gonna stay here a bit, okay? So press down into the feet and then drop a little weight into the heels as you press the hips out to the left. Now imagine the right hand's pulling that left hand up and over, and then start to roll that left arm back just a little bit to roll the heart up towards the sky. Notice what's happening with your feet. Make them evenly pressed into the ground and find a little more length as you reach through the fingers. Slowly come back up, reach up out of the waist. Exhale, drop it to the left. Really try to find that balance of strength and surrender here. All right, pressing down into the feet, squeeze your head, glue your palms. Press the hips out to the right. Reach through the fingers. Pull that right arm up and over. As you draw the right arm back a touch, rolling the heart up towards the ceiling or the sky just a little bit. Slowly come back up, drop your head back, find that backward bend. Feet are pressing down evenly, hips pressing forward evenly. Reach up out of the waist. Relax through the head and the neck. Stay with your breath. Inhale, slowly come up. Feel this hinge at the hips as you reach forward. Lengthen all the way down, belly in and up out of the way. Release your hands, shake your head, step your feet together, bend your knees a lot. Reach around, step on all 10 fingers again. Maybe forearms wrap around back there a little more. Maybe they even touch. Press your face and your whole upper body into your legs and start to see what you can lengthen on the inhale and soften on the exhale. And then maybe for the last 2 breaths, you do both. And release, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Lower through chaturanga, meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, come up high on the tippy toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into the heels. One more time, make it last a little longer. And then find that balance between the feet. As the right foot presses down and the left foot lifts just a little bit. Keep pressing back evenly through the left foot, just like it was still pressing into the ground. See how high you can lift it without turning the hip out. Checking with the arms, the hands. The head is heavy. Belly drawing in. Find a little more length. Come up on the toes. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through, lower down. Inhale, rise up, fill up. One more sit. Exhale, lower the hands. Step it forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Step your feet as wide as your hips. Hook your peace sign fingers around your big toes. Shine your heart forward, roll the shoulders back. And exhale, fold. Pull your head down towards your feet. Press your feet down evenly. Rock a little weight into the balls of the feet. Start to lift those sit bones up and back. Inhale, see what you can lengthen. Exhale, see what you can soften.
2 more breaths. Release, press into your feet, slowly roll up or reverse swan dive. Come all the way up, lift your heart, roll your shoulders down your back. And now spread your feet as wide as your hips. Find an even spot on your mat, maybe. Reach your arms forward, palms down, arms parallel to the ground. Now without moving your knees, lower your booty back behind you till your thighs are parallel to the ground. Okay, keep the same distance between your hands, your knees, and your feet. You can look down to see if you want, but then look forward so your chin stays parallel. All right, arms parallel, thighs parallel, sinking a little deeper. Pull the belly in, draw the upper body back. Find length through your spine and the back of your neck. Find softness through your face and your shoulders. Slowly come on out. Come up on the tippy toes, keeping that same distance between your hands, your knees, and your feet. Roll forward into the knees, lowering the booty back behind you. Trying to get the thighs parallel to the ground again. You can look down if you want to see that distance is the same, but then look forward, chin parallel, thighs parallel to the ground, arms parallel to the ground. Come up higher on the toes, pull the belly in, soften the face and the shoulders, reach out through those fingers, and slowly come back up. Lower the heels down, squeeze the knees together. Now drop your tail a little bit, just to lengthen the spine a little bit, and imagine pressing your body into an imaginary wall behind you as you slowly slide down the wall. If your heels start to come up off the ground a little bit, that's okay, you can let that happen. Keep squeezing your knees together and pulling your belly in. Lower your hips till they're just a couple inches away from your heels. And then roll your knees down and forward, getting your thighs parallel to the ground, the arms parallel to the ground. Pull the belly in. If you feel all right here, you can bounce. Stay with your breath. Now, way slower than you want to, start to come back up. Good. Step your feet together. Bring your hands by your sides. Now, bring your hands to your heart. Let your head bow to your heart just a little bit. Close your eyes. And let's come back to that intention, that non-judgment. Hey, did you just bite me? Is that a giant tick on you? Oh my God. You tick monster. Coming back to that idea of non-judgment and just recommitting to every time that comes up, to using your breath, letting the yoga and the breath dissolve any feelings of judgment. Inhale, arms up overhead, find a little backward bend. Exhale, swan dive, press into the feet, lengthen all the way down, empty every last drop. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, chaturanga, meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, come up high on the tippy toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into the heels evenly. One more time, make it last. All right, feel that evenness through the feet. Keep pressing the left foot down as you slowly lift the right foot up. See how high you can lift it. Maybe you can lift it a little higher now without turning the hips out. Keep your head heavy. Keep your arms even. Come up on the toes. Exhale, draw knee to nose. Step it through, warrior one. Left heel spins out and down. So check it on your way up. Knee is over ankle. And it's pressing straight out over that foot. Lift up, shoulders over hips. Drawing the right hip back in towards the socket to inch the left hip forward a little bit. Reach up out of the waist, both sides evenly. Press down into both feet evenly. Find your breath, find your balance. Now find that sweet spot where you're not pushing too much, but you're pushing just enough to find a little more space. Bring your hands to your heart. Keep pressing the right knee forward, tip forward. Turn and twist to the right, hook the elbow outside the knee. And before you use that leverage to twist your spine open, check in with the knee again. Make sure it's pressing straight out over that second toe. Feet are pressing down into the ground. Unless that's too much or too hard to balance, you can come up on those back toes. Now twist your heart towards the thumbs, maybe placing the thumbs in the center of the chest. Keep pressing the right knee forward, pressing both feet down. Start to roll the right shoulder back as you press the right hand down into the left hand. Inhale, a little more length into the spine and the back of the neck. Exhale, a little more softness through the face and shoulders. 2 more breaths. Maybe you try it all. Keep the right knee deeply bent. Come back up to warrior 1 and then open up warrior 2. Now your hips are facing the long edge. Check that knee over ankle. Check the knees going straight out over the second toe. And then find your maximum wingspan. Gaze out over the right fingers. Start at the foundation up. Press the feet down evenly. Can you make it more even? Draw the belly in and up. Lift the heart. Sink into the shoulders evenly. Find that sweet spot, that perfect balance between strength and surrender. Right knee stays deeply bent. As you reverse it, right hand reaches up. Exhale, cartwheel hands to mat, chaturanga. Take your time. Kneading back in downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, come up high on the toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into the heels. Wow, I look kind of buff from this angle when I'm holding the clothesline. One more time, make it last a little longer. Good angle. Okay, find that evenness through your feet. Is there pressing down? Right foot stays pressing down, left foot lifts up. Lift as high as you can without turning the hips out. Come up on the toes. Exhale, knee to nose, step through warrior 1, set it up. Knee over ankle, knee going straight forward. Reach up out of the waist. See where you can find more evenness, more balance. Through the feet. Left hip drawing back, right hip drawing forward. Reach up out of the waist. Bring your hands to your heart. Keep the left knee pressing forward as you tilt forward, turn and twist. Before you use that leverage, check in with the feet. Press the left knee forward. Now twist. Heart towards thumb. Maybe placing them on the center of the chest. Left hand pressing down. Left shoulder rolling back. Maybe starting to look up. Inhale. What can you lengthen? Exhale. What can you soften? Do that 2 more times or try to incorporate all of it. Slowly come back up, warrior 1, and open it up, warrior 2. Keep the left knee pressing forward, maybe left thigh parallel to the ground, but for sure, left knee pointed straight out over that second toe. Press the feet down, lift the arms up. Find that balance, find that sweet spot, gaze over the left fingers, and reach. But not so much that you're creating tension, just enough. You're creating a little bit of space to soften. Space to let go. Left knee presses forward, left hand reaches up. Exhale, cartwheel hands to mat, chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, come up high on the toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into the heels. One more time. Okay, step your right foot in about halfway between your left hand, or between your left foot and your hands. Now, kick the left foot up and see if you can float the right foot off the ground a little, but make this more about your arms and the strength in your arms. So press into the fingers and the knuckles evenly. Stack the elbows over the wrists and the shoulders over the elbows. Maybe you stack the hips over the shoulders for a second. Stay with your breath. Maybe you click your heels together in the air. or not really your heels, but your feet. And when you're ready, we'll switch. Stepping the left foot in halfway, coming up on the ball of that left foot will help. Press into fingers and knuckles and shoot that right foot up to try to float the left foot up. Come back to that downward facing dog. Inhale on the toes, roll forward into plank. Walk or slide the feet back, lowering down to forearm plank, stacking shoulders over elbows. Lengthen through the spine and the back of the neck. Find your breath. Use your hands and your forearms like you're trying to shine the heart forward and roll the shoulders back. Feel the quads lifting off the knees, belly drawing in and up. Now start to rock forward and back. Now slowly walk your feet in a little closer to your elbows. Let your booty go up like dolphin pose. Keep rooting down into the hands and forearms. And imagine you're pressing your forearms down and forward, like you're trying to stretch the mat forward. Head is heavy. Draw the shoulders out of the ears. Find your breath. Maybe your right leg lifts up high. Keep that balance between your left foot and your right foot. Come up on the toes. Slowly lower down and switch. Reach the left foot up. Maybe you're working on kicking up. Whenever you're done here, find a child's pose. If you're working on kicking up, take your time. When you're ready, come back up, downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, come up high on the toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into your heels. One more time. All right, find that balance through the legs and slowly inhale the right leg up as high as you can. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Come on up, crescent lunge. Press that right knee straight out over the second toe. See if you can get the right thigh parallel. Draw the right hip back, get those headlights facing forward, and reach up out of the waist. Now bring your hands to your hips and step the left foot in a couple feet for pyramid pose. So both your hips are facing forward, left toes are kicked out at 45. Now you can either interlace your fingers back behind you, maybe gluing the palms together here, or you can try to bring the hands into prayer behind your back. If you can't do that, you can just bring your fists together as high as you can get them. Press down into the feet evenly. Feel the hips stay at the same height as you hinge forward, lengthening out. Start to press into your right foot just a little more than your left to keep your right hip lifting as you tuck the chin towards the chest. Try to touch the forehead to the leg. Softly draw the shoulders out of the ears. Inhale, see what you can lengthen. Exhale, see what you can soften. 2 more breaths. Lower your hands down, keep your left hand down. Roll your right arm up and see about stacking the shoulders as you gaze up at the left hand. You might need to walk that left hand up onto a block or onto your shin. Keep rolling the right shoulder back. Keep pressing down into both feet evenly. Pull your belly in. Lengthen through the spine and the back of the neck. Soften through the face and shoulders. 2 more breaths here. Slowly lower back down. Shoot the left foot high like standing splits. Set the left foot down to meet the right. Slowly roll up, arms and head heavy, press into the feet. Heart lifts, shoulders roll down the back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive, lengthen forward, pressing through the feet all the way, lengthening through the spine all the way. Belly in and up, empty all the way. Inhale, lift up halfway, hold on to it. Exhale, chaturanga, meeting back in downward facing dog. Always feel free to skip the vinyasas. Inhale through the nose, high on the toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into the heels. One more time. Find that balance through the legs as the right foot presses down, left foot lifts up high. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through, crescent lunge, set it up. Find your breath, see what you can balance. See if you can balance the inhale with the exhale a little more. See if you're still taking time to find that pause in between. Slowly step the right foot in a little bit, both hips forward. Bring your hands wherever you like, maybe interlacing them behind you, maybe in prayer behind you. Press down into the feet and feel that hinge at the hips as you lengthen out, keeping the legs straight if you can by lifting the quads up off the knees. Tuck the chin towards the chest. See about touching the forehead to the legs. See about getting the hips the same height, but pressing into the left foot to lift the left hip a little more. Soften the shoulders out of the ears. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. 2 more breaths. Lower the hands, keep the right hand down, peel the left arm up, keep the legs straight if you can, gaze up at the left hand. Find your breath, roll that left shoulder back, inhale, find length. Exhale, find softness, 2 more breaths, do what feels right. Slowly lower that left hand, shoot the right foot up, standing splits. Set it right back down, press into the feet and roll up, arms and head heavy. Chin untucks last, heart lifts, shoulders draw down the back. All right, now we lift the right heel up into the center line, cupping the toes with the left fingers, bring the right hand to the heart. Now root down into the left foot, see if you can grow a little taller on the inhale, a little softer on the exhale. Maybe you reach the right hand behind your back and try to grab the big toe with peace sign fingers. Maybe you start to hinge at the hips and fold forward. Maybe on the inhale, you see what you can lengthen. On the exhale, you see what you can soften. Or maybe for these last 2 breaths, you try to do it all. And slowly release, root down into the right foot. Bring that left heel up into center, cup those toes. Bring the left hand to the heart. Press the hips forward, let that knee fall back. Maybe reach around for that big toe, grabbing the elbow, working your way down. Inhale, lengthen, root to rise here. Exhale, soften. 2 more breaths. Yeah, maybe you're folding forward. And slowly release. Press into the feet. Inhale, rise the arms up. Squeeze the palms together. Exhale, swan dive. Keep pressing through the feet as you lengthen forward. Empty all the way. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, high on the tippy toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into the heels. 1 more time. Inhale, ripple forward into plank. Turn to the outside edge of the left foot. Reach the right arm up, side plank. Lift the hips a little higher. Reach the right arm up alongside the ear. Lengthen the whole right side of the body, rolling the heart up towards the sky a touch. Step the right foot behind you, flip it over, wild thing. Relax your head and your neck. Slowly come back to plank and roll to the outside edge of your right foot. Side plank, other side. Arm up alongside the ear, heart rolls up towards the sky, left foot steps behind you, flip it over, wild thing. Slowly come back to plank. Walk or slide the feet back to lower the forearms down. Forearm plank. Rooting to the hands, lengthen from heels to crown. Find your breath, find your strength. Now lift your right leg up off the ground. Reach back through those toes and lower back down. Lift the left toes off the ground. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Each inhale, one leg lifts. You find more length from your toe to your crown, rooting through your hands and your forearms. Whenever you've had enough, you can just lower the belly down to the ground, keeping your shoulders stacked over your elbows. Try to keep the back of the neck long but soft. Slowly lower the belly down. Untuck the toes. Relax the lower body by shaking the hips a little bit. Hands look just like down dog. Fingers spread wide. Start to engage your hands and forearms to pull the belly button forward an inch. Pull the heart forward a little more as you roll the shoulders back. Get the chin parallel to the ground. Make sure you soften through the glutes here and the legs. Slowly turn to gaze over the right shoulder. See if you can gaze past it, all the way back to the feet. Keep your hands evenly engaged and your shoulders evenly softening as you gaze past the feet, maybe. Stay with your breath. Slowly come back to center. Re-engage the hands to pull the belly button and heart forward. Slowly gaze over the left shoulder. Keep your hands engaged. Glutes soft. Past the shoulder, maybe to the feet. Keep those hands engaged and shoulders soft as you gaze past the feet now. Slowly gaze back to center. And now we're going to stack the right arm in front of the left, keeping the shoulders roughly over the elbows so they're not like out here, right? Walk your fingers out as far as you can now, and maybe just a little further than you think. Again, relax the lower body, shake the hips out, and then use the weight of your head to help open things up here. Let your chin rest on your arms. Let your jaw stay soft, though. You might need to keep your lips slightly open so you're not clenching the teeth. Now let's come back to that 4 parts equal breath here. Slowly come back up. And now bring the right arm behind the left and walk it out. A little further. Relax the lower body. Use the weight of your head. Sink in. Keep the jaw relaxed. Maybe by keeping the lips slightly open. And find that 4 equal parts breath. Slowly come back up. Now we're just going to come back up to seated, straightening the right leg out in front. We're going to peel the left leg back so the toes point back towards the back of the mat. All right, you might need to move that big calf muscle out of the way so you can get both sit bones on the ground here. You might need to put something under your right sit bone to get them both evenly grounded here. Now kick out through the right heel. Draw the toes back towards the face. Reach up out of the waist. Find all the length. And then hinge forward and see what you can grab. Maybe that foot, maybe just the leg. Lift the heart. Pull it closer to the foot. And soften the shoulders down the back. If you can, keep your right thigh really engaged. That quad pressing down. Maybe heel stays lifting up off the ground. On the inhale, lengthen through the spine, the back of the neck, pull the heart towards that foot. Exhale, soften through the face and shoulders. 2 more breaths here. Maybe on this inhale, you lengthen and soften, really finding that sweet spot, building strength and flexibility at the same time, at the same rate. Slowly come back up. And now if it's too much for you to sit like this any longer, you can come out of it. Otherwise, we're gonna lower back to the elbows and maybe all the way back to the back. You might need to put something underneath of you, especially if you're outside and you're leaning down a hill. Maybe you come back to bring the shoulders to the ground. We're trying to keep the left knee on the ground if we can. Maybe you bring the arms up overhead, grabbing opposite elbows, pulling the elbows down into the ground as you tuck the chin a little bit. Find that 4 equal parts breath and see where you can find some more balance. Now slowly release, come back up to the elbows. If you feel stuck here, you can roll over onto the right side to get out of it. Otherwise, slowly come up and use your left hand to help that left leg straight. And maybe shake your feet or your legs out a little bit. Okay, now peel the right leg back. Toes point back. We're trying to keep the knee pointed forward. Maybe move that calf out of the way so you can get that right sit bone down. Maybe needing to stick something under that left sit bone. Kick out to the left heel, inhale, lengthen up. And now hinge forward. Grab what you can. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, soften and deepen. Keep that left leg engaged. 2 more breaths here. Maybe you can find that equal parts. Maybe you can find length and softness. Slowly come back up and start to work your way back onto the elbows, maybe onto the shoulders. Maybe grabbing those opposite elbows overhead and tucking the chin a little bit. When you're ready, slowly come up. If you need to, you can roll to the left side to get out. Use that right hand to straighten the right leg. And wiggle the feet and the toes a little bit. Okay, bring your feet flat on the ground, reach your hands forward, and slowly roll back onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. And find a happy baby. Maybe straightening your legs out wide to the sides.
Hug your knees into your chest.
Lower your feet down flat on the ground. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Use your right hand to press that right knee out away from you, maybe straightening into the right arm. Then lift your left foot off the ground. Interlace your fingers around that left thigh. Lower your head back down to the ground, but tuck your chin a little bit and pull that thigh in. Soften the shoulders down. Keep letting that right knee fall out away from you. Maybe play with the height of that left foot a little bit. Tuck the chin a little bit. Find that 4 equal parts breath. Keep the foot crossed, but release your grip. Lower the left foot back down. Cactus the arms. Let your lower body drop to the left till the right foot's flat on the ground. Get that left heel in a little closer to your glute as you try to lower the right hip down and let that right knee fall forward. Must be almost summertime. There's a dragonfly. He's really pretty. Wow, he's mean though. He's like attacking all the other bugs. Jeez, buddy. Stay away from me. Slowly come back to center. Hug your knees in. Hug your forehead in to touch your knees. Squeeze everything in tight. And lower your feet back down flat. Cross your left foot over your right knee. Use your left hand to press the left knee away, maybe straightening into the left leg. Tuck your chin. Lift the right foot. Interlace the fingers around that right thigh. Hug it in. Lower the head. Tuck the chin. Keep pulling that thigh in and letting that knee fall out. Find your breath. Find the right height for that right foot. Oh, there's 2 of them. I know what you guys are probably up to. Keep the foot crossed, but release your grip. Lower the right foot down. Cactus the arms. Lower body to the right so the left foot's flat. Maybe that right heel sneaks in a little closer. Maybe the left hip drops down a little bit and you gaze over the left hand. Find that 4 equal parts breath. Slowly come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. One last time. And let your legs go long on the mat. Spread your feet as wide as the mat. Let your toes fall open.
Hey, I forgot to tell you we have.
Okay, now we're going to take a couple breaths together. So you're going to breathe so slowly that you can't even feel that the air is coming through your nose. You're going to imagine that it's coming through every pore in your body, through your skin, from your toes to your crown, evenly all over your body. So inhale the slowest, tiniest little bit of air. Let it permeate through the membrane of your skin and fill you all the way up, and then hold it. Exhale, same thing, so slowly. Imagine it's coming out through your pores, relaxing every muscle, every tendon, every bone. Imagine this next inhale, oxygenating every cell in your body, making them vibrate at the frequency of perfection. And imagine that allowing more space to settle in a little deeper on this exhale, really letting go more than you ever have. Now, before you invite this deeper breath back into the body, invite the joy of being back along with it, along with this breath. Invite that joy back deep into your body. We just cleared some space for it to be here, for it to stay. As you start to bring a little movement back into your fingers and your toes, feel that sensation of having a body, of being alive. And see if you can equate that with the joy of being. I know sometimes having a body feels like a lot and it's kind of heavy, but it's just a very limited amount of time we get to wear this thing. So see if you can commit today to experiencing that joy of being that you can only experience right in this very moment. When you're ready, we'll roll on to either side. And see if as you come back to a seat, you can look at this as the beginning of your practice instead of the end. This was just to get you in this place. Now the real practice is seeing how long you can stay in this space, seeing how much of this you can take with you off the mat. All right? So good job starting your practice. That's the hardest part, right? Now see how long you can ride this little wave and stay in this place, staying with your breath, watching your thoughts. Come back to find that nice tall spine. Yeah, take your time. If you want to just stay laying down, if you want to take an extra long shavasana, honor that too. All right, inhale, arms up overhead, squeeze the palms together, find a little more space one more time. Then draw your hands to your heart. And let your head bow to the wisdom of your heart and really sink into what that means. See if you can feel that energy in your heart space and imagine staying there instead of in your head and seeing everything through that softened lens of the heart. Bring the thumbs to the space above the eyebrows and take a moment to thank yourself for showing up. May all beings everywhere be free from pain and suffering. May our thoughts and actions in some way contribute to that. Namaste. No dogs.